Hello, Bigfoot enthusiast. Scott here from Squatch America.
And Hannah, domestic goddess, chief cook, and doggy mama in the paddy wagon, kind of soaking wet, doggy mama.
Yeah. It's been raining all day. Plus, we washed the dog today.
Yes, and guess
that
what?
was our exciting time.
Our exciting time on YouTube was washing the dog, and so far it's been everybody's exciting time on YouTube because for whatever reason, when you mention a dog, it gets a lot of views. So if you've watched our short, thank you. If you haven't, go watch it.
Yeah. It's got like 800 views already in like a couple hours.
All right. Well, we want to just welcome everyone that's in tonight before we get started.
So hi, Uncle Bones, for being the first in chat. And
you win absolutely nothing.
Yep. And the Squatch and Cowboy came in second. You win even less.
Yep. And Galen, I'm glad it was in the 50s. Enjoy it because you know that won't last. And you got 4 more months of, winter barging in on you. But we will be back in Baker for the Blue Mountain Bigfoot Festival in June.
We'll be talking about that later. Yep. So hi, Pappy, Renee, Michelle, both the Michelles, and Scott.
Yes. All right. So with that, play the intro.
What? Well, we have a special guest tonight. It's been a few days.
What?
It's been a few weeks since we've had a guest.
What did we do? We talked about festivals last week. And what did we do the week before that?
I don't remember. Gear or something.
I don't know. Anyway, we were supposed to have 2 special guests tonight, but as you are all very familiar with, having followed us for as long as you have, sometimes weather gets in the way, and one of our guests is stuck in Truckee.
Stuck in Truckee.
Not a fun place to be stuck, especially in the winter. So, but tonight we do want to welcome.
By the way, Truckee is also known as Donner Pass. So if he's stuck in the snow in Donner Pass, I hope things go well.
Yes. True. We hope that nobody eats him.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, tonight we are super, super excited to welcome our other special guest, who is Mike Casey. Was supposed to be on with us, and this is a colleague of Mike Casey and also a colleague of Robert Leiterman, who you all will be meeting at the Blue Mountain Bigfoot Festival in a few months. But we want to welcome to the paddy wagon tonight, Jonathan Easley.
Hi, Jonathan.
How you doing? Happy to be on.
Oh, perfect.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
All right. You're coming from the great state of Idaho.
Yep. Boise, Idaho, about 2 hours from where your guys' conference will be later this year. So I'm gonna try as hard as I can to make it.
And you're in spitting distance of our son and his family.
Yeah, my son lives in Meridian, so.
Oh, right here. I'm right on the border, 10 minutes away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott. Nice ear goggles. I hate them. I hate earphones so much, but it is what it is. And Scott's making me use them. So.
All right. So I noticed you got yourself tagged as Western Bigfoot Exploration.
Yes, sir.
Did I say that right?
Okay. That's my YouTube channel. I also run an Instagram page that I post on sometimes. But yeah, it's my YouTube channel. If you go there, you'll find me in a handful of videos of my adventures, just different places I go, things I've recorded, people I meet. And I try to put everything in a nice cinematic, educational way that's kind of based in science. I try not to go, I try to keep everything real, and as presentable to as if a scientist were watching. So it's also enjoyable for
you to
everybody.
Toby Johnson then.
No, we don't. All right. So in case you don't know or haven't watched our channel a whole lot, I'm an anthropologist, so I base everything in very much science.
And I'm a yogini.
And, so she bases everything in weird out of this world stuff. So we're a good mix on the Bigfoot world.
Yeah.
So.
The opposites attracted on this one.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Jonathan. So what got you into Bigfoot?
Oh man, just being a little kid watching X-Files, 7 years old and you're not supposed to, staying up. And, I always had wondered about all these mysteries out there, you know, UFOs, the Loch Ness Monster. I had my monster book when I was a kid and stuff. Just really excited about all that, you know, paranormal stuff. And as you grow older, all that stuff kind of fades away, you know, and you start going to college and working and a career and a family and stuff, and it just kind of fades away. Well, I got back into backpacking, and through backpacking, I talked to a lot of, you know, fellow hikers and backpackers, and they had a lot of strange stories in the forest. And aside from that, there's a show called Finding Bigfoot. And I started thinking, man, there's, you know, this is like the most plausible, weird thing out there, you know, that is leaving tracks and evidence, you know, that's on video. So I started to just get more intrigued into it and started having little bits of, you know, strange experiences myself, hearing things that I maybe couldn't describe in the woods, maybe seeing things. I saw something out of the corner of my eye once that I was convinced was bipedal, and it's kind of a quick flash, and that was it. I went down the wormhole on the internet and finding all the crazy people on this subject, and, you know, kind of weeding out who I think is awesome. And there were a handful of things that I took away from, you know, what I think was real and what I think was, you know, based in science, you know, and a couple of those things were obviously the Patterson-Gimlin film. That's like my favorite thing, but believe it or not, I was a skeptic for a long time of the film, and I knew all the little red flags. And, you know, what's the second greatest footage that most people agree on that is the second greatest footage for Bigfoot would be the Freeman footage, you know? So when you dive into these, you know, I dove way into the Patterson-Gimlin history, you know, and the people involved and their stories, and, you know, what was going on on certain years, both in, you know, Washington and, you know, with Patterson and Gimlin up in Rainier, and, you know, things popping off in Bluff Creek. There's so much information on the Patterson-Gimlin film. There's like a dozen books written, but over here on the second greatest footage, there's like nothing, right? And that always left me scratching my head. No one's been to the film, so I haven't seen any videos. I saw a bunch of Bluff Creek Project guy videos today when I was searching for, you know, where is this film site? Where was this filmed? You couldn't find almost anything. I learned through a friend that it was filmed at Deduct Springs, and I couldn't find almost anything about it. So after all these years of being an enthusiast of the Patterson-Gimlin everything, and that whole history in Bluff Creek, and going there several times, I thought, you know, how about we give some love to the Freeman video? What happened? You know, I wanted to go there and see if it felt like a natural sighting. I've followed up on people's sighting reports, and you go there and you're like, there was, I'm not going to say the name. It's kind of well known, but this person passed away. So we'll just leave it like that. But, you know, the place where they say that they had this encounter in video was on the next to a golf course behind a gas station just north of a neighborhood, just nestled in a very, very populated area where it would have had to, you know, cross in front of absolutely everything and everyone. And it just didn't feel believable. You know, you see those red flags. So yeah, that was kind of my whole quest with the Patterson-Gimlin film. And I, you know, have my time and that I researched up there and my conclusions about it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot there. I remember the video when it came out, and the only reason I was really into the Freeman film is I grew up in Elgin, Oregon, which is in Tollgate, which is right there in Deduct Springs. That was literally my backyard. In fact, Deduct Springs was, I think, as the crow flies, less than 15 miles from my house where I grew up.
Yeah.
And we've been there and we've done a video there.
Yeah. But not to the extent that you guys did, you know.
Yeah.
We did a fun video.
Yeah. We were just having a kind of a fun day and checking it out, because we've been to Bluff Creek, and we've been to the Salt Fork Falk Monster area, you know.
Oh, nice.
So, and we've tried to hit all the Bigfoot hotspots. But you know, but Deduct Springs is literally was my backyard, and I grew up in that area, and I know it like the back of my hand. And as a kid growing up there, you know, we deer hunted, we elk hunted up there all the time, And I always thought, I'm waiting to come around the corner and see a Bigfoot, but I never did, you know. but it was great. And if you don't mind, I'm going to play a little clip from your video.
Yeah, sure.
And then what I want to do is kind of show our audience the kind of the detail of stuff that you and Mike did when you were up there.
So bear with us while we make sure the technology works.
Yeah, here we go.
One never knows.
Yeah.
Here, hiding behind this tree.
And that's where he peeks out.
Where he peeks out. And then this is the Christmas tree where it has the best side shot.
Can't see much up through here. I hear the brush popping and stuff. Oh, there he goes.
Tiny bit more. Sorry, man. Thanks for holding the pose. So based on finding a number of artifacts from the original video, this is where I think that Paul Freeman stood. We go up this initial trail. He stands here. He shows this watershed. He shows this entire embankment right here, and it's all dirt and rock. He pans back across. He shows footprints going up this trail right here.
All right. So, yeah, I love the detail. In fact, that little shot where you turn aside and you said the little spring water there.
Mm-hmm.
I actually found a footprint 4 years ago or 2 years ago there.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It
was a little washed out, and because it was actually in the water itself. This was, what time of year was this? For about August. So there was still a little bit. So it was very muddy and anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So go ahead.
Oh no. So yeah, in that part, I don't know if you wanted me to elaborate on that part.
Yes, please do.
So we kind of got there from scratch. Now, Mike had been there the day before, I think, with Dar Addington. And I assume most of your viewers probably know who she is, but if they don't, she's one of the OG people from back in the Freeman days. She worked with them. She was up there in the wilderness all the time. And I mean, it's just, she's awesome. You just hear I've heard too many stories. Too many. And little funny side note, since Mike's not here, I can tell this story.
Okay, cool.
He was telling me he starts telling me this story, and he has this really stressed look on his face. And he goes, Dar is like 90 something years old. He goes, Michael, had hooked me up with her to bring her up here, and she's going to show me around. But he told me to really just take care of her. She's my responsibility. And they went there, and I guess she started jumping over logs and over rocks and, under trees and under branches. So he's like freaking out, hoping that she doesn't get hurt. But he was just like so amazed that she just went up there and just went all over the place, like if she was, in her early 20s,
Yeah.
So that was a pretty funny story. He was sweating it all day. But he loved his time up there. So she had showed him a couple of the artifacts and kind of where it all happened. So when me and Mike got there, he kind of showed me a few of the stumps, a few of the logs that she showed him. And then I said, all right, just stop there and let's just go from scratch, and let's try to piece this together as best we can, with just our information. And if, you have anything to supplement that Dar told you then there. So we were kind of starting like, this is where we think he started, and we're looking at old clips of the video, and it's so cool because most of the site is almost the same, but there are things like that little Christmas tree from behind it that is now as tall as the building, and it was only about, I don't even know, 12 to 15 feet back then, not that tall, maybe shorter. But so that was our process, and as we made our way up the trail, we'd look at more of the film, and try to match up stumps and plants and trees and just try to look. A lot of the trees, we can see them in the video and they're like down and completely just rotted into the ground, but you can tell where they were. So that was kind of neat too. But yeah.
So actually we actually went up there in our little fun video we did. Hannah walked that, from behind the peking tree and walked to that spot too. So,
Oh, it's fun. You have to do it. You have to do
yeah,
it. You go to the
yeah,
PG film site, you got to do the patty walk. You come over here, you got to do the human footage walk.
yeah, yeah. And what a lot of people don't know is there was a big hole that that Bigfoot stepped down into after it did that. I think after when it looked back or looked at Paul and then turned and then took a step, it actually stepped down quite a ways.
See, that made sense. So that was one of the
Yeah.
things that we were trying to piece together. Why does it take this gigantic step? And we also tried to measure the amount of feet between that tree and where it walks across and then it stops again behind the brush and the stump and the laid down log, and it kind of looks at him, and then it keeps going. So, one of the little things we did was, how many steps did it take this thing and how many steps can we do it in? I don't remember the exact number, but we were like 3.5 feet short when we took big steps, 4 big steps.
Yeah.
So, this thing, whatever it was a lot taller. I mean, just a rough guess that we kind of walked away with was about 6'3", just, eyeballing it. But the amount of steps was kind of like the indicator. And also the width was like, I mean, you look at Mike in that little comparison I did, that's like, there's like 2 mics in the sweater that,
yeah,
that would fill that void.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so funny.
It is 1:15. Guess what it's time for?
Okay, so let's show this clip one more time.
We will show.
Yeah.
Hey, before you show the clip, we had a comment in here about the head turn. Is the head turn consistent with how Patty moves?
It looks very similar, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, it does.
It
doesn't turn the shoulders quite as much as Patty did, but I don't know what Michael or Michael Freeman.
Michael.
Yeah. So we got 2 mics we're working on. Okay. Michael Freeman, mentioned in his talk that he does at the festivals and stuff. I've heard it 5 or 6 times because we speak at a lot of the same festivals, so I get them. But it's a head snap. This one here doesn't turn and look and like this. It kind of snaps its head and does a quick
correct
and looks back.
So
the Patterson subject is also walking at an angle but away, so it has to turn more. So I kind of factor this in. This is what I looked at. It had to turn. Patty had to turn her shoulders a little bit because she's looking back at Roger. And on my Instagram, I have a video of myself walking as Patty, and I show you how far she had to turn, where Roger was. This is at the film site today. So, but yeah, she turns back. Now, if you just kind of isolate the head without the whole shoulder turn, I mean, that snap looks the same velocity and the same size. It's there's nothing that glares out at you. If you just look at the head snap itself, the speed of it, it's very similar.
And of course, that shoulder turn for Patty was important because she had further back to look, and you've got to engage the whole torso there. So
she's going
anyway,
away.
all right. So I think it's really important as we're evaluating. First of all, everything's conjecture. I mean, that's the first of all, and we've got to keep it there. But just because, for instance, if I see a human being physically manifesting something, that doesn't mean all other 8 billion human beings are going to manifest that exact same, physical behavior pattern. Everyone's a little bit different. So, so we can't look at the Patty film and say, well, this one didn't act just like Patty, so it's not for real. That's what I'm trying to say. So, anyway, let's watch that. Let's watch the video closely.
Okay, yeah, this is where to show the difference between Michael
and before. So the Rogers film shows, the chin is up higher than the shoulders. And then anyway.
Okay.
So watch the video closely. We will.
Yeah. So here's that.
Tiny bit more. Sorry, man. Thanks for holding the pose. So, based on finding a number of artifacts from the original.
Yeah, so you can see there that it's how much thinner Mike looks than what that other one.
Yeah. Now I will say in this shot, I think I'm like, maybe 6 feet or so to the right of where Freeman was. We tried our best, and it wasn't until retrospect until you get to see all your footage, like on a screen at home, not on a phone or something, that you realize, okay, maybe it was 10 feet or 6 feet to the left or right, but you get the gist of it. So it's not absolutely identical, but that's pretty darn close right there.
Yeah.
So, hate going here.
What?
I hate going here. I gotta say this. So Paul Freeman's life was absolutely destroyed after this, just destroyed. I mean, you talk to his family and it just about decimated everything in his life.
Correct.
I mean, if Bigfoot stole anyone's soul, Bigfoot stole Paul Freeman's soul. And so no one will ever convince me that this was a man in a suit. First of all, I've been to this area and there's nothing easily walkable about it. I don't know how your experience was, but there are no trails. I mean, it is just,
there's that one trail.
Well, there's that trail, but where Big Jill was, that was not a trail. And so I'm thinking if you've ever worn a Bigfoot suit, first of all, they have no feet, but you're not going to leave prints like you find if you're wearing a Bigfoot suit. But there's no way that a human being in a suit could pull off the movement that Big Jill did there, especially that dip down. Because I saw that dip down and I went, I'm not even going there, because I'll break everything in my
trying
body.
To step down there.
It's true. I'm a fainting goat and I will easily break every bone in my body. But why someone would fake this to destroy their own life is just, I mean, that goes against any part of human psychology or behavior. So that's my 2 cents for people who think this is a suit. Why would you destroy your life?
Well, one could say, oh, the opportunity was, to get big and make money off of this fake video if he did fake it. But once it destroyed his life, don't you think he'd have gone, you know what, guys, it was all fake. Just leave me alone. And that's it. No, but he didn't, because that's not what happened.
No.
By the way,
afterwards, a lot of people don't know this, but afterwards, they actually had to move away because they got so many. They were getting teased and death threats and
totally doxxed.
Basically, before doxing was actually a word,
True.
And they had to move, and then after a few years. But even after they moved, he was driving halfway across the state back every single weekend to try to recreate this. And then they eventually moved back.
I keep learning more and more like his level of dedication. Like coming back, working all night, catching a couple hours of sleep or something, and then or I don't think he even slept that morning. You drive all the way. It's not the easiest drive, up a dirt windy road.
Or if Paul Freeman wasn't the one who faked it, who on earth would fake it just to destroy him?
Yeah.
Because we're talking about the Freeman video, and just from a human behavior perspective, it doesn't make any sense for it to be faked. Guess who's on tonight? Alexander. Hello, nice to see you, buddy.
Alex is one of the coolest dudes, and
that's true. He is.
Cool. So, have you seen the enhanced version of the film?
Yes, I have. It's impressive. It's like, I don't know, when you first see that what looks like the little one being picked up, it kind of takes you back. I gasped. I was like, wow,
I did too.
Amazing, because you didn't see anything like that before. And it's pretty darn clear. It's not I mean, it doesn't look all weird and AI enhanced or anything like that.
No.
It's just incredibly sharpened, and you do see those little legs come up off the ground, and you want to talk about faking it. Like I said, like, it's who on earth is going to fake that from
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
distance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then not even tell anybody that you faked a baby being picked up until Doug Hychek realizes it over a decade later. It's like, it's another thing that leaves you scratching your head if you're a skeptic.
Yeah.
What is it? What is an Occam's razor? You've got to rule out everything. And when you rule out all the things that are possible, then you start,
Mhm.
well, maybe the impossible is possible.
Possible.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's really interesting is, I've talked with Michael Freeman, and for years his dad said, well, I saw two of them. And remember in the video, there's a part where he goes, oh, there must be two of them. He said the second one had a hunchback. And he went with that for years and years and years and years. And in fact, I think he passed away still thinking it was a hunchback, not realizing it had picked up a baby and the baby was on its back. So that was another interesting thing.
okay, we need to take a break now for statement identification. So everyone, just wanted to remind you, we are sitting here in Coburg, Oregon.
Okay, so we're gonna go.
Well, hold on.
Is that what we're doing?
Yes, we're sitting here in Coburg, Oregon, and we are so fortunate to have internet as a resource. And sometimes you may find where is it? Where you're scrolling through stuff. You are so lost. Here it is.
Okay, here we go.
It's your. As we travel and search for Bigfoot, we use a lot of equipment that uses the internet to operate. Also, in our town hall meetings and live streams, we need a reliable connection. We use Nomad Internet. There's a link and discount code below, so join us and have internet access on the go. Get your internet from Nomad. People, please use our link. We might get 14 cents off of it, but that's 14 cents that we appreciate very, very much.
Very, very much. Okay. And also coming up.
Hey, this weekend, come see us in Eugene at the Eugene Boat and Sportsman Show. There will be a Bigfoot town hall at each one of these sportsman shows. So I'm just going to say it. We have assured the show producer that Bigfoot town halls bring an audience. That's been our experience. Please don't embarrass us. So this weekend, Eugene Boat and Sportsman Show. Next weekend is the Sportsman and Outdoor Show in Roseburg. We're going to take a week off for my mom's birthday and then see you at the Sportsman and Outdoor Show in Medford, Oregon. Then Scott will see you. Scott and Michelle and anyone who wants to come to Anderson and represent Squatch America, because I will be elsewhere, but Scott will see you at the NorCal Boat and Sport and RV Show in Anderson, California. And then we're going to take another weekend off. Scott Goebel, please set up a Squatching trip for this guy. And then we will, middle of March, be at the Sportsman's and Outdoor Show in Klamath Falls, Oregon. April 13th, we will be attending the Fallen Outdoors Oregon Banquet in Oak Grove. Remember, we do partner with the Fallen Outdoors to give veterans and active duty military service personnel an opportunity to go squatching with us. Memorial Day weekend, you can find us in Forks, Washington at Forks Sasquatch Days. DAR, June 8th, is the Elgin Excursion Train out of Elgin, Oregon. And then Father's Day weekend, we will be in Medellin Falls, Washington for their Bigfoot Festival. Please mark your calendars, save the date. June 22nd and 23rd is the Blue Mountain Bigfoot Festival in Baker City, Oregon. The festival is free. If you want to pay for VIP access to different things going on, stay tuned. But the festival itself is free, and we are shooting for 4,000 people this year. So come on out to Baker City. And finally, the Glide Bigfoot Festival, July 19th and 20th. And that is our 2024 touring season.
Yeah. So far.
So don't even start. Bub.
All right. Yeah. And come see us on the train, because you might see, focus, that lady with us right there. That's Dar. She rides the train with us every year.
Nice.
So there's that. All right. Are we done?
I certainly hope so.
And Michelle says, I will be there in Anderson. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
All right. So back to it. What's next, bub?
Stuff we were talking about. Well, you mentioned the Bigfoot Festival in Baker, which we hope Jonathan can get over for. We have nailed down a couple special guests already. We've got Tom Seawood coming
from Sasquatch Island.
From Sasquatch Island. He's going to be doing the native dances and talking about native stories and Bigfoot.
And Peggy and I will be talking about our men behind their backs right in front of them because that's what we do.
Yeah. So yeah, we've been at enough Bigfoot festivals with Tom that his wife Peggy and Hannah just kind of walk away and do their thing while we talk Bigfoot. But and then we also got Robert Leiterman coming from the Bluff Creek Project, and you've said you've spent some time with him down.
Down in Bluff Creek.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, when I first got into the subject, like Patterson Gimlin was the biggest piece of evidence, right? So you go looking through it, and I wondered where this film site was, and lo and behold, there's this group called the Bluff Creek Project. Mm-hmm. They're out there looking for the film site, and they had a bunch of videos, and they think they finally found it. That's when I had kind of gotten into the subject, and they started going and showing the big tree and all these artifacts and stumps from there. And it didn't really look like it looks like a big old jungle, but after I had decided that this Patterson Gimlin thing, it's probably real, I was like, I need to go to this area. It seems amazing. So I went up there, and was it the second trip that I went to? I got to meet Robert Lederman. And if you don't know Robert, he's like the smartest guy when it comes to the Patterson Gimlin film site, measuring it out, all its history. Him and Steven Struford are like the knowledge holders on that, But Robert's the boots on the ground guy. So if you ever have the chance to go to the Patterson Gimlin film site with Robert Lederman, you'll have a great time. He shows you everything. And I've gone to the film site with him a couple times. I've camped with him a handful of times. And it was kind of like that, he showed me how they did this, the technique they used and the way of thinking to find all the, stumps and trees and measurements and all that stuff. And I kind of wore my Bluff Creek guy hat to the Freeman film site and try to just see that place through their eyes. Mm-hmm. That was my best being Robert Lederman attempt, I guess. Yeah. Great dude, man. I'm so excited to, go up there to Baker and watch him speak. I haven't seen one of his presentations. I'm sure I've heard it in bits and pieces over a campfire,
Oh, I'm sure you have. Yeah. We actually had him on our show
a few weeks ago.
2-3 weeks
ago. I think it was the first Wednesday of the month. But like a month ago.
He kept cutting out because of internet problems because he lives in the middle of freaking nowhere. And
what a wonderful life.
But yeah, when I watched your Freeman film site stuff, I thought, they're doing a lot of good stuff here, just like Robert did.
From an anthropological, archaeological perspective, could you break down how you go about surveying a site to prove veracity or to recreate an event or something like that? Come on, Dr. Scott. Wax profound.
Wax profound. Well, you just go measure stuff and you do things. That's what no.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I've worked on quite a few archaeological digs, but a dig is different than what they're doing. Well, there is, especially there is like when you're measuring stuff like this photo right here. We'll jump this back up on the screen. Can you see you can't.
No,
see
you need to put your little.
I can't do that.
Oh, okay. So are we looking at the Christmas tree?
Wait, let me see if I can.
Yeah, he's standing right in front of the Christmas tree. It's
yes. But the Christmas tree was probably about this tall when the Freeman film happened, somewhere around there.
Little
just
baby.
guessing. Yeah.
Both me and the tree were about that. We're little babies.
Yeah, exactly. So, because that was when was that? 92.
92. Yep. Which I said in my video, I think 94, and realized right after that. So 92 for sure.
Yeah, did Michael call you and correct you?
Oh yeah, he did. We'll talk about what he called me and corrected me about. It's kind of a big old no way type deal.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, so But so there's a lot of stuff you can't do, with living things, because there's no
No,
way to
because there's
tell
always it's
how
dynamic.
fast that grows, and it's dynamic. But what you can do is what they did is measure the steps they took to get there, and I think if they could find the spot where
Mhm.
where the end of the shot was. Did you? I forgot. Did you find where it hid behind the tree and then stepped out again later? That spot.
Yeah, it was this particular spot. Yeah, it's.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you can kind of see the coverage is a little different in front, so it's hard to.
Mhm.
You can't stand there and say, "Oh, it was this tall," because the foliage is all a different size.
Mhm.
But you can. I mean, the little walkway and the open space is still there. Like you can still
Mhm.
walk through it.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff you could do, is like measure the steps
Mhm.
and try to see where it
Yeah.
started and where it ended, and then you can probably figure out the the width of the steps.
Yeah, and you have far more markers and background indicators here than
Mhm.
you do at the PG film site, for example. So
Right.
your whatever guess you take is probably going to be a lot closer to what it was here. It's
Mhm.
pretty a lot easier to gate. You have that mossy tree right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, the archaeology that I did, I was a Native American cultural anthropologist, so
Mhm.
we were digging up native stuff. But I always wondered if we could ever find a spot to do a dig and find a body somewhere. But that's virtually impossible. But I wonder. I just had an idea.
Oh boy.
Jesus.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So I was doing an archaeological dig in California,
Okay.
and we were digging through a mining camp that was on top of a Native American site. And at one point, I was just goofing off, and I started brushing because on an archaeological dig, you have like 1 meter by 1 meter squares you put on the ground, and then you dig down those squares,
Mhm.
each square at a time. And I was digging down in the square, and a lot of people, they just scrape the dirt off and hope they find something hard underneath it. And I was just goofing off one afternoon, and I was down about a foot or so in the ground, and I started just using my brush and just brushing the dirt, and I was finding footprints. It was brushing that footprints that were there from the miners in the 1800s.
Wow.
Because the dirt that collected on top of it was looser than the mud,
The compacted
the
print.
compacted dirt, and I was actually finding footprints. So that just gave me an idea. If we go back to that site and we dig it like an archaeological dig, we might
Mhm.
be able to brush the dirt away and find the footprints.
Who knows? Who knows? That
I
that one
know,
thing
you
that I
never
saw,
know.
that dirt one is super hard.
It
So,
is.
I mean, you can see that maybe I think there were a few footprints in the video, right? Now,
Mhm.
yeah, to know if those are still there, God knows, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
it's just they'd be so small, and then, he turns the camera back on just after the point where that Sasquatch walked by initially.
Mhm.
He turns it off. He gets up to the top, which is, like you were saying, it's not easy. It's
Mhm.
you're at 5,500 something elevation, I think.
Mhm.
Might be off a little bit, but and me walking up and down there, I was in great shape at the time. I can run 5 miles easy, and you can
Mhm.
hear me on the camera huffing and puffing, and I'm trying not to breathe hard.
Yeah, because
I'm
you're filming.
handling the camera, and I don't want my footage to sound like Paul's. So,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
exactly.
but between the
Paul is
shock
not
and
a
the
fit man.
Mhm.
yeah, between the shock and the running up that pretty steep trail, I get why he was that out of breath, and I was out of breath too. It's not anybody would be out of breath.
Mhm. Yeah, it's some steep country there.
Another argument against the man in a suit theory. It's just too crazy. Too hard to traverse in a suit. It's hard enough to traverse in hiking boots and human clothes, much less a suit.
Yeah.
Correct. No, absolutely.
And it moved too smoothly. So
anyway, so
yeah,
now I got to move back there. I'm going to hang out there for about a year.
Did you guys get this? This is what I walked away with mainly. It felt like a natural sighting. It felt like the reason that it walked where it did in front of that Christmas tree is because behind it, the foliage is so thick. You know, it's almost impenetrable. And there's a little kind of a Y at that trail there. And it's kind of an open space. And if you walk right there and you look to the left, there's trees impeding you. I don't think it's ever saw Freeman until it was maybe a step before the mossy tree. Because, we kind of walked that route just going, what did this Bigfoot see? And it was like, he wouldn't have seen, Paul until he was to a certain point. And then it was like, uh-oh. Then it did that little quick hide behind the tree. Yeah. Then it stepped out. And then not to mention way further down, when it picks up the little one, it kind of does this little peek, then it picks him up. And I thought that was so genuine, you know what I mean? And there's no yelling action down at your buddy or something like that. It's just the whole thing felt natural from the pathways and with the whole factoring in that it could have gone in and out of the ravine there to the left of the shot. So I don't know. That's what I took away from.
There's that. And there was just Paul's reaction right there. I mean, it caught Paul off guard. He was not expecting that at all.
Well, he was filming footprints.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was probably already excited about all the footprints.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's all this stuff. There's just too much to it. Like, wouldn't you take a new VHS tape instead of something that you've recorded over a bunch of times? It was just there would be so much prep that goes into it. All for this distant kind of blurry-ish footage without accounting for the sharpening that no one knew at the time would ever exist. Just you look at fake Bigfoot videos and they look completely different. The DNA in them from the beginning to the end is just totally different. This felt like a real natural thing from beginning to end. And that's something you have to assess when you're there.
The Durango, Colorado train isn't genuine.
Yeah, I spoke to that lady. Like, I was one of the first people to speak to the lady that was on the train. I'm sure everybody reached out to her at that time. So she wasn't faking it, but somebody was, I think. But
we were the first people to, I mean, we had someone messaged us that footage within minutes of them filming it.
Oh wow! So you guys really
we were the first ones to break it down on YouTube. Anyway, that was fun.
I much agree.
I do want to make an announcement. Let's go back to the Blue Mountain Bigfoot Festival talk for just a minute.
Okay.
So we want to go ahead, flash it up there.
Okay.
Go ahead, do the thing. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? First of all, thanks to Jessica Hobson from Travel Baker County, who designed our brand new logo. Looks way better than the stuff we could do on PowerPoint and Canva. Anyway, the Blue Mountain Bigfoot Festival, as I mentioned earlier, is June 22nd and 23rd. However, I'm talking to Renee, and I'm talking to Janice, and I'm talking to Jonathan, and I'm talking to all the people who might be interested in saving the date, maybe saving a few extra days afterwards, because we will be going back to Freeman's research sites.
Oh, that's great. Me and Robert were just talking about that yesterday.
Yep.
He wanted to get up there and we were going to start working something out. So this is great news.
Well, yeah. So he's going to be there anyway for a festival. Maybe we can talk him into hanging out a few days later, because we were going to go up there and Dar wants to go with us. So.
Yep, that'd be
I don't know if we were
been wanting to go ever since I left there. So
yeah. So Janice, yes, there will be a Squatch American research trip, like maybe the day or two after the festival.
After the festival.
It can't be very long because we're going to have to hit the road, but I'm thinking Monday and Tuesday more than likely after the festival. So save a few extra days. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Bring your tents. There are places to camp nearby, and so
well, you can camp right there at the pond, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
it's not the spring, is up the hill, but there's a pond down there where he.
Yeah,
there's a couple spots right up the hill too that are really nice. No campfires, so bring little one of those heater buddies or something like that. It's chilly at night.
Yeah. This will be in late June, so it will still be a little bit cold. There might even be a little bit of snow on the ground left, but anyway.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize the altitude of this place and how much snow they really get.
Yeah,
it is crazy. I've been up there mid-June, and well, actually, I tried to get up there mid-June. It's snow too deep at one point. I remember going up there, and I couldn't get there. The snow was still too deep.
And yes, Janice, there will be shirts with that logo. That's going to be the permanent logo of the festival. We will make shirts. And so, yes, we're working on all that. So could we talk about this question?
Okay, here we go.
Another question. When Freeman filmed the creature, how come the back is pretty much straight and not hunched over and the knees are straight when it walks past the tree?
I don't think that's very accurate. Do you?
No.
It's kind of looking down at the big step it's going to take.
Yeah.
Its knees, you can't really see its knees because of the ferns obscuring it, correct? So it's hard to tell there, but it does bend over in a later shot. It looked like it picks up that little one.
Right. Right. So when there's what he's talking about is when there's that head snap, right after the head snap, it actually steps down in a big hole.
It's like a 2-foot step down. It's a big hole.
Wow. I wonder. I don't even recall. Maybe it's in my footage somewhere, but I don't recall looking at that part. It was probably filled in after all these years.
It probably is, but yeah.
But it does take that big step. It does bend its neck, and it does bend its back.
Yep.
Yeah. So. Oh. Yeah. Wendy Munson is watching on Facebook. Hi, Wendy. Nice to see you.
Okay.
Nice to see you.
All right. So we need to do one more quick ad real quick.
Yes. And okay. So all of you realists, please be entertained, but it is time to remind you to book your next vacation. In Cloudcroft, New Mexico. Hello, Bigfoot enthusiasts. Hannah here from Squatch America, and we want to welcome you to Cloudcroft, New Mexico, where mystery meets adventure. Introducing the Bigfoot Encounter Museum, the ultimate destination for all cryptozoology enthusiasts and adventure seekers. Step into a world shrouded in legend and intrigue, where the mysterious stories of Bigfoot come to life. Our museum is a treasure trove of artifacts, exhibits, and interactive displays that delve into the fascinating history and folklore surrounding this legendary creature. Get ready to embark on an immersive journey through time, exploring the captivating tales of eyewitness accounts, footprint casts, compelling documentaries, and so much more. You'll be amazed as you unravel the mysteries and evidence surrounding this elusive and enigmatic creature. Whether you're a skeptic or a true believer, the Bigfoot Encounter Museum in Cloudcroft, New Mexico promises an unforgettable adventure for all ages. Come and create lasting memories as you immerse yourself in the world of Bigfoot lore. Plan your visit today and uncover the secrets of Bigfoot at the Cloudcroft Bigfoot Encounter Museum. Your journey into the unknown awaits. Cloudcroft Bigfoot Encounter Museum. Discover the legend, experience the mystery.
All right. So, and we'll be back there this fall. Yeah.
That's all we know.
Yeah. So we'd like to do our squatching down south in the wintertime because we're smart people.
But Cloudcroft is not warm.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
don't want to do it up here in 5.5 to 10 feet of snow? And,
No,
No?
no, no.
I got a finger for that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there
Well,
with you.
Cloudcroft is 9,000 feet up, and so it's not a whole lot different than Boise. It's,
Yeah.
it's still cold and snowy and icy, but
Yeah.
anyway, so
Yeah,
but we're going
no.
back there. Hopefully it won't be too snowy when we go back there. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we got you, Raptor. Lock.
What
Was
did he
there
say?
a bend and snap? You don't get it, do you?
I do get it. That's old.
That's wonderful. That is, can I tell you, is one of my favorite movies of all time is Legally Blonde. The Bend and Snap. You betcha. It's my favorite house cleaning movie, actually. So that's what I clean the house to. Anyway, yeah, we got you, Raptor. It's just, you ask the question and that's the answer from our perspective.
Yeah.
So yes, Wendy, you are going to, if you're going to Roswell and Carlsbad, yes.
In fact, Roswell's right there.
Add Cloudcroft and Wendy, tell them that Scott&HANNAH sent you. And that they said that you could see the place for free.
Yep.
Okay.
There
and
we go.
they can call us and confirm.
Yeah.
Back into the okay. So we got about 5 minutes.
So do you have anything coming up?
I'm picking what video to edit next. I think I'm gonna do either it's gonna be something Bluff Creek related. I have a few, luckily I have like maybe 5 or 6 videos in the can that I'm currently working on. And I've been doing this thing where, just adjusting to life in a new house and all this stuff. And I haven't been as prevalent with my editing, but now I'm good. I'm going to sit down and I think I did record my entire hike down to the Patterson-Gimlin film site just to let everybody know what it looks like. And I kind of talked as I walked, and it'll be a hike to the Patterson-Gimlin film site that I'm going to try to publish next.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. And I want to tell you, I enjoy your editing. I mean, your videos that I've watched are really well done. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes. And for all of you out there, editing such an easy, leisurely activity, right?
Yeah.
No.
I had to absolutely.
I won't even joke about that.
Yeah. I thought, you know what? I want to be a YouTuber and I want to stream my video games and be a video game YouTuber. And then it's like the amount of work required to edit one video of gameplay is like, oh no. This will just be my for fun thing because I am not doing this ever again.
Yeah.
It is a labor of love. Okay, so our friend Doc Ock had a question way back, and I forgot. So this is specifically for you, but have you guys seen what how do you say that? Naledi or Nadali? Or I don't know.
It's Nadali, or it's Naledi actually.
Okay, have you seen this?
I always say Nadali because I say it wrong.
Okay, have you seen this what this homo's feet looks like? There are so many of them. I just saw the other day, it looks like a midfoot flex point. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it does. I mean, Homo Nadali is between erectus and heidelbergensis. So they probably still had foot flexures. They didn't have arches yet. In fact, us and Neanderthals, the only two that didn't have their foot bends in the middle. So,
all right. So, so I hope that answered it. Yes. I wonder if arches were a response to the stupid shoes that humans wear.
they're actually, that is kind of the truth. Because before that they didn't wear shoes because they were down in Africa and the southern regions and Saudi Arabia and Egypt and those areas.
They wore sandals.
And then they moved up into France where it gets cold and they started wearing clothes. And actually, yeah, that's our foot stopped flexing when we started wearing shoes.
Stupid shoes. I hate shoes. Interesting. And then we started wearing like pointy stilettos and
those were the Italians.
Yeah, yeah.
Lord. Lockbeard, you know what we need to do to stop the constant disturbance of the Sasquatch population living along the Rio Grande, and just I think there's a convoy going down there to help fix that.
Oh, funny.
Anyway, okay. I hope they don't hurt our.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mike Prine asks on Facebook, have you had or are you looking for an encounter? Oh, we've had an encounter. What about
Yeah,
you, Jonathan?
what about, have you had an encounter?
Encounters, as far as hearing something in close proximity, has happened a couple times. In 2015,
Mhm.
I saw what looked like a humanoid standing on a hillside through a thermal imager, and watched it for like 2 minutes and watched it walk off at
Cool.
like 3 in the morning. So that was my one sighting. Haven't seen anything since, but I've heard and had so many things happen very close to me
Mhm.
that I can't explain. So
Yeah,
I like that. Interesting but non-conclusive.
it's even not
oh, you
conclusive.
don't know what made that wood knock on the tree. You didn't see
Exactly.
it. So until then, and
Yeah.
other anomalous sounds too. We've recorded. One of the weirdest ones is like sounds like a branch thrown, and there's this champagne bottle sound going off in conjunction with it, and that's recorded. That's on my channel.
Like the pop, like the champagne pop,
but extremely loud. It was so loud that I thought it was I'm on video going, I heard this vocalization. It sounded like a whoop, but it was actually this kaplunk, and it's really high pitched, and it's really, I don't know what it was till this day. I don't know how a tree can make that sound by hitting it. I mean, I replayed it several times in my video, and it was actually recorded with 5 people. Who was out there with Tate Hieronymus, Alex Petikoff, and Eli Watson from STM, and we had another group about a mile down the road.
So it had a resonance that's not correlated with an actual wood knock, like a wood knock, but with a different resonance.
Correct. Yeah, you'll hear it. It was just really loud. It was just, it sounds like a champagne bottle popping.
Oh, cool.
But louder than a champagne bottle would sound popping, though, much louder. So and it was right behind where Alex and Tate were. So I don't know. And then we heard this series of knocks all around us, everywhere from what we guess was maybe 50 yards away, 40 yards away, maybe pretty close to where we thought that it was the people on the road messing with the cars, and we were getting mad at them. We were like, why are they slamming the car doors? The cars were right there. And that's where we were hearing all this ruckus from, and several wood knocks. And then we finally got together, sat on the road for over an hour in dead silence, and didn't hear a single knock again. So if it was, something that weather had brought on, or wind, we would have heard it again because we were in the same conditions, but we didn't hear a thing. So whatever was around us that night made a big ruckus at different distances all around us, and then took off.
That's cool.
Hey, Renee wants to point out that humans have messed up our human women have messed up our feet and boobs. That's absolutely. Did you know, women,
Thanks
that
for sharing,
if you go your lifetime without wearing a bra, you don't have the boob conditions that so many women do have, because the body does what it's supposed to do.
Interesting.
Yes, it's very interesting. Human and life is interesting. If we would stop messing with it. I mean, everything. The universe is a miraculous place. Anyways, so
it's our ancestors that we have to believe, that we have to blame for the creation of plantar fasciitis and stuff.
That and the sugar industry, all the fake food industries that promote obesity. Absolutely, don't get me started. Okay.
We know.
All right, so yes, like anything unnatural does have negative side effects. We're dang straight. Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, I think so. Doc Ock mentioned that Squatch feet are way more like older hominids. Well, yes, because our theory, which we believe is backed up by very strong. I've got the menopause brain. But what the evidence we do have is very strongly supportive of our theory that Bigfoot is a hominid. A hominid that has not had its feet bound, and
so older version of us that hasn't went extinct. And I know you're going to jump on. Somebody's going to jump on here and say, no, they come from UFOs. But here's my saying
portals.
to
Portals.
portals. Yeah. In fact, the Cloudcroft Museum has a portal in it. But anyway,
it's not a portal; it's a vortex.
It's a vortex,
and it's more for humans to go through and say, "I did it."
Yeah. But
I did it, and I didn't puke. That's the big thing right there.
You know, one of the things I always say: if you see a UFO land and a deer walks out of the woods, do you equate the deer with the UFO? So if a UFO lands and a Bigfoot walks out of the woods, that doesn't necessarily mean they're connected. Yeah,
correct.
Correlation is not causation.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So we're at the top of the hour. I want everybody go over to Western Bigfoot Exploration
on YouTube, and we will put it in. You will put it in the description.
Yes, I
you
will.
not
I think
forget.
I already have. Actually, it's in there.
Okay.
So go over there, click like and subscribe, and do all that YouTube stuff.
And while you're here, please smash the like button and like and subscribe. Share this with all your friends. We are almost up to 2,800 subscribers. Come on, guys. Let's shoot for 2,800 by the end of February.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So with that.
So thank you very much,
thanks,
Jonathan.
John, for coming
Thanks
on.
for having me on. Pleasure to be on. I look forward to seeing you guys later this year.
Yeah, stay in touch. Let us know what you're doing. We'll have you back on, and maybe Mr. Mike can come on with you too, because we adore him. He's a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, great guy. Got stuck. He got, for those Mike's supposed to be on tonight. Got stuck in Truckee's driving a logging truck and had issues with it. So
I'm thinking I'd rather be stuck in Lubbock than Truckee.
Yeah, exactly.
We've been
stuck in Lubbock. Way preferable.
All right, so. All right, everyone. So as always, please. Oh, we've lost the button.
There it is.
All right. As always, everyone, please remember that our job is to investigate the unexplained,
not to explain the uninvestigated.
So until next week, you keep watching and
we'll keep squatching.
Bye.
Go out and find Bigfoot.
That damn Sasquatch.